Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody is trying to make the shape of a shark's tooth, into a shadow box, and they've done them like the shape of Florida before, but now they can't remember how they did it. And I don't know how many layers they're going to want, or they need a back layer and then an acrylic layer for, like, I guess the top. With the jagged teeth, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult, but a couple of ways. One, this is a group of 4 objects, so your boundary tool is not available unless you go to Object and ungroup it, and then your boundary tool comes up. I've set your nudge distance on 10 inches. I would strongly suggest you set your duplicate distance on 0, 0. And then select this and go to the boundary tool and make a boundary. And there you have the boundary. But with that said, I don't know from here, what size they want, the thickness of the, I don't understand this part, but they can adjust the size to whatever. I just think the sharpness of these teeth are going to come into a little bit of a problem. So we're going to go to Effects and Contour, and we're going to contour to the outside, let's say 1/4 of an inch. And that's going to give you a smoother outside and a rough inside. So what you could do, if you don't want it that rough, one, you could use it just like this. You could select it and break the contour apart. And then this shape is your solid. And then this shape is going to be, what I would probably do is just take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in, and then left click, right click, and there's your cutout of it. Or what you could do is, because you always need a back, what I would do is take this outside piece and either make the whole thing a little bit bigger or contour to the inside 1/4 of an inch. And there you have, see, it's kind of reducing the jaggedness of the, I like the idea, but I think too much would be too much. So there's your, if we do this, well, we got to break it apart and then make them red for your hairline. So this will be your bottom piece out of wood. I don't understand. I've looked at, I don't understand what this is. And then like here, it says middle frame with openings. So, I mean, for that, he would just put an opening if he needs an opening. I've never made one, but I think this is pretty cool. I like the idea. So, if you run that, like 2 layers, 3 layers of, 1/8 inch wood, then you're going to have like a 1/2 inch shadow box. And then you make that bottom layer and your top layer for the acrylic. And another thing I would consider would be able to make one more layer of this to sandwich the acrylic back to the wood. So you'd have a wood frame around the acrylic. Now, if I'm totally off base, I apologize. I don't understand. Now, the other thing I was going to show is, as always, when your boundary tool doesn't come up, let's group this back together. So let's group this together. The boundary tool is gone. You can always, because this is all kind of filled in, and also I think this would be pretty cool to engrave this on the bottom layer or somewhat. Maybe that's his idea. You could always take a rectangle, and I do this a lot, use the Smart Fill tool, fill that in, and then fill that in, and then you have your shape to do whatever you want to with it, contour it. The only other and I don't think this would work. It would be a good idea, but I think this sharpness is going to be too much, is you can make this a 1/2 inch line. But see, that makes those things really, really sharp. And I don't think you want that. Because then you could take that 1/2 inch line. Now, the ones that's a little bit smoother, you could maybe make it a 1/2 inch line and then go up to object. Just another way to do it. Object, convert it to an outline, and left click, right click, and you have your inside shape. I think the contour tool is going to be your best bet. Anyway, I hope that I helped that person. If not, they'll let me know. Anyway, hope that helped. Thank you for watching.